What is up, my BBossBaddies and my bad mom fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about why she'll always come back, but it's going to be a whole different style. So you guys, I dropped so much videos, of course, right? But I feel like I need to give you guys different content as well. I know you guys do enjoy me helping you guys out, but I also see that you guys have a lot of stories that you guys comment that you guys want advice on. So what I'm starting now, I don't even know what we're gonna call it, if I'm even gonna call it a series or type of thing, but what I'm starting is basically reading out the stories that you guys send, whether it's DMs, and this one I'm gonna show you guys is gonna be DMs, and then there's also, of course, you guys can email me. I see a lot of emails already that I can start with, and then the comments that you guys always leave. So this is a different way I could help you guys, and I feel like this will be more exciting instead of, you know, me coming up with topics all the time. You guys have basically your stories, technically your topics, and I can go ahead and talk about it. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick how, you know, basically it's going to be. Like, I'm going to read that out and then give you guys my advice. This guy told me his story, and he also said at the end, can you do a YouTube video about it? In the future, I won't even, like, you know, show you guys too much. I'll probably just jump right into it, but I wanted to get all that out so you guys have a good feel and know what's expected on this channel to come. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this format. Please give this video a huge thumbs up, and lastly, I will be back on Patreon. I was trying to get 2 videos out yesterday, but I was having issues with YouTube. So for sure, if I can't get those other videos out, or if I just have difficulties, a lot of videos might just be uploaded to Patreon either, or I will be on Patreon regardless. So if you guys do want to check it out, links down below. You guys do get videos that you don't see on here. All right, so the story or the message is, okay, so I've been watching your channel for a few months now and got some good advice from you. And I went a while without talking to my ex after we broke up and accomplished some goals. Good job. That's how it's supposed to go. Good job. Stay focused, and of course, but put that energy on yourself. I love when guys always do what they're gonna do and say what they're gonna say afterwards and go make it happen. You know, don't just be all about the talk. Okay, so accomplish some goals. I set and started being more successful without her, and she came back saying she was thinking about me and missing me because she found some letters I wrote her while I was in jail. But now that we had talked and basically rekindled our relationship, she still acted the same way as if she didn't change and doesn't even try to communicate like a mature adult. But I called her out on her BS and ended up cutting her off with no explanation. That's the way to do it, because they know you don't got to say nothing. Can you make a YouTube video about that? Okay, so look, they will always come back if you get on track after what they expected you not to do, and that's obviously getting on track. So automatically nowadays, the concept of just working hard, being focused on yourself, a lot of guys are just kind of brushing it off as if, hey, well, if I start doing that, she might forget about me because I'm not giving her attention. But if you notice everything that you've been doing for this woman, towards this woman, not working out for you, you have to make a change. And ultimately, it always comes right back to you fellas. So I'm so proud of this fella right here, going ahead and going and accomplishing these goals and writing them down. You guys, girls are gonna look at you all day long, especially this guy. I'm sure she was looking at you. And don't worry, I'm gonna get to the other parts, talk my stuff and give you some more advice. But you guys, ultimately, like, these girls will always basically want the opposite, which will be the opposite of good, the opposite of what they say that they want for you, but they really mean the other. So all the nagging and all the BS that comes with, you know, sometimes being with a woman, you have to stay focused on your goals, because that's gonna be your best bet to not be distracted by her and then end up losing whatever it was that you had with her. And most times it's nothing. So if you guys are feeling like, hey, I'm not the guy, you guys have a guy right here. He just told you flat out. He went and accomplished his goals, and it basically took, and listen to this, you guys, it took for him to accomplish his goals. Let's not brush off just because the girl was reading the letters and now she's missing him. No, this is exactly why she came back, and she's still acting the way she's acting with her attitude. Maybe he didn't say attitude necessarily, but I'm sure there's going to be some sort of attitude when there's the lack of communication that you're saying she doesn't have, and then the BS that she's doing. So ultimately, you guys, y'all gotta get that with women, it's always gonna be certain type of things, but you have to know her intentions. So this woman coming into your life, her intentions coming into your life was nothing more than, hey, well, he's on track or he's doing good. Now, I can't speak too much because maybe you guys did have moments where it was like, hey, real love. That could definitely happen. But the thing is, the actions that speak behind women, you guys have to use that to your advantage the way they use your actions to their advantage. Basically, to call you out. So for an example, you see all these times where, you know, you weren't doing good. This guy, for example, right? And I don't know if I should say his name, Tavon. I won't say the full name, just obviously that's the best idea. But anyways, he told me to do the video. So as I was saying, like, girls will use, for an example, right? They will use what you guys can't do against you, right? So this guy, when he was in jail, right? Tavon was in jail. You know, he was locked up. I don't know if she was really holding you down, because all I know is that you sent that letter, right? So maybe you guys did have communication going on or some good stuff that's good for your relationship or whatever it is, right? But the problem was that she was looking at you and saying that, hey, look at him, he's in jail. Right now, you can tell me maybe she was supportive, but if she was supportive, she would have been changed her attitude or the communication that she wasn't having. So what excited that woman was to see that you can actually go and do things that she never expected you to do, right? And then on top of that, the fact that she had you, y'all got to remember also, women can feel, and they do feel, and I'm not saying they're allowed to, but this is how they look at it. Like, I'm allowed to own you or have part of you when you're doing well. So you guys will go ahead and finally, and I say finally because sometimes I know how hard it is to kind of go in this circle with not accomplishing goals, with just not getting nowhere when you really want to get somewhere, right? But finally, when you accomplish your goals, what it is for these girls is like, well, I didn't want you before because you weren't really there, right? Tavon was in jail. Maybe she was there for you, like I said, but she didn't want you enough to change. So it still shows that she didn't want you, except the goals is what she's wanting. She's wanting you to do, but it's going to obviously benefit from her. I mean, benefit to her. At the end of the day, when I talk about benefits, if you're just thinking about money and status, no. Some girls that can't even get the guys that they want, right? The six-figure guys, they will benefit what they can benefit from you. So it could just be a good look. Maybe Tavon, I don't know if they were talking bad about you before, right? They might have said some bad things about you. You can't do this, you can't do that. That's what the reality is sometimes when people see somebody go to jail. That's just reality, right? But what she's expecting now is that you're basically not going to accomplish none of this, and you're in jail, okay? Now you're out, you accomplish your goals. That got her excited. Now she's, you know, dealing with you again, but I'm not going to change your attitude, but I want you now because you're doing things right. So this makes me look good because everybody was probably talking bad about you, or people were looking at you and then looking at me because now they're looking at us as one because we come in two. So now that you're doing good, that means I'm with a guy that's good. Right? You look good, I look good as well. That's another thing that really happens with women. Why do you guys think a lot of women just date guys for status? Of course money comes, and of course that guy having status, he's gonna have a whole lot of women, but that makes a lot of women look good. How many women out here, and let's answer this question right here. How many women out here that are baby moms, right? And they pretty much are, you know, taking the baby mom role because, hey, this is the guy that I have. I don't mind being that. But as long as he has the status, he's at the top, you know, all the girls want him, he's this guy, it makes her look good once again. Although there's, you know, the other things that come, there's always going to be negative stuff, but it's still, for her to say, this is my man, this is who I am with now, it makes her look good. And that's why I tell you guys, like, a lot of times, though, there is some positive things. When a girl does get excited about a guy, things are going right, and she does have that interest, what's going to happen for her is she's going to go and run and tell her girl. That's how girls are. We get excited the same way, you know, we might want to talk a lot about things, about, hey, well, you know, he did this, or guys are this. This happens. We still have that positive side of, hey, well, I'm excited because he's doing good. Now, it's not always the best reasons, but there is some good reasons. Okay, so finally, so we can start wrapping up the second half of this. Let's just read the second part real quickly. But now that we had talked and basically rekindled our relationship, she's still acting the same way as if she didn't change and doesn't even try to communicate like a mature adult. So let me tell you, like, her coming back into your life, it wasn't for the reason, in my opinion, of genuinely wanting you. Because if it was genuinely wanting you, she would have stayed around, right? If it was actual issues that you had, maybe you guys did have more issues. I don't know the real details. That's a whole nother story. But if she's coming back around now that, you know, you're doing well, you're accomplishing goals, and she still feels like, I don't have to change my attitude, my communication, all the things that I was saying through this video, if she feels that way, it speaks louder. The same way, women, like I said, and we're about to wrap up, the same way your actions were speaking louder because you went and accomplished your goals, you are on your purpose, or you're trying to get on your purpose, that spoke loud to that woman. It was ringing to her ears. But guess what? The same way now, you got to treat her that way. The way she comes back into your life with that attitude, with acting otherwise and all these craziness type of things going on with her, or, you know, like you said, what is it? The BS, she can't communicate, whatever. That is the same way you got to let her actions speak louder. Look at that and say, well, this is how she's acting. Well, hey, you know what? The same way you didn't want me when I wasn't doing well or doing the best for myself, I don't want you because your attitude is not well. It's not the best, right? It's that simple. Y'all got to treat women the same way in different ways so it's equal. All right, y'all. So I really hope this video was helpful. Like I said, this is going to be a new thing that I'm bringing to this channel. If you guys really like this idea, let me know. Give this video a huge thumbs up. And like I said, check out my other YouTube channels and Patreon. Y'all will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.